Socks for diabetes, and what features do we look for in a diabetic sock? So the first question is, why do diabetics need special socks at all? And to answer this, we need to understand what diabetes is. So diabetes is a disease where you get raising and lowering of the blood sugar outside of normal limits. Now, what can happen is when the blood sugar raises too high, it becomes poisonous to the body and it starts to damage the little blood vessels and the little nerves in the body. And so you get a situation where the diabetic foot doesn't feel very well, so you're more likely to damage it. And because it doesn't feel very well, you don't feel infection, so you're more likely to get an infection. And because of that, you're more likely to get complications from infection like amputation or ulceration. So a diabetic foot doesn't feel very well, doesn't heal very well, and they're much more likely to get amputations and complications from infection. So wearing a diabetic sock does a couple of things. One, and the major thing that it actually does is it helps to limit the amount or the chance of damage to the foot and the chance of infection and amputation. So if you think of the socks like a bit of a guard against any sort of damage to the foot, that's the best way to think of a diabetic sock. So the socks we're looking at today are the Ergonx diabetic socks. So there's the front, and they've got all this handy information on the inside. And this is the socks themselves. So this is the mini crew or the quarter crew sock. They also come in a crew length sock, which will go further up the leg. And the features that we look at in the socks are the first one. So if we think of everything needs to be aimed at minimizing the amount of damage done to the sock. So the first thing that we do is we turn the sock inside out, and you can see that they're all blind seams. So there's no actually stitching sticking out of here. It's all stitched in sort of reverse and hand linked. So there's no seam in this sock. The second thing we look at is, if we can see in the camera, I'll put it on my hand to make it a bit easier, that if we have a look at the padding, there's a lot of padding underneath the foot. And so what that helps to do, it helps to add padding to the sole of the foot, so there's less pressure over the bony prominences of the feet, so you're less likely to get corns and calluses, and there's less likely to lead to ulceration and infection that way. The third thing we look for in the diabetic sock is, does it have a non-binding cuff? So if we have a look at the cuff, there's the section that goes up around the ankle. What it does is, if we look at this, if we take it in close to the camera, you can see that it's non-binding and very elasticized. So what that helps to do is, if we pull these up, particularly in the crew length sock, it won't actually constrict around the calves and cause any pressure and cause any marks around the calf where the calves might swell over the workday. These ones have also got a Y-shaped seam in the heel, and what that does, it just means that it cups the heel and shapes to the heel a little bit better. And these have also got, because often diabetes is a family thing, we've got the markings for the size small, medium and large on the socks, so they're easy to match up after the wash. The yarn that's used in these socks is Silverline. It's a special proprietary yarn that the Ergonx guys use called Silver Mesh. And what that is, it's a antimicrobial yarn, so it's actually got silver impregnated into the yarn that's used to stitch the socks. So it's antimicrobial, and it won't wash off in the wash. So you can wash these, and the silver doesn't actually dissipate with the number of washes. And that's a great feature to help to try and keep foot odor down and a chance of any infection from any microbial infections on the foot. So that is, in a nutshell, what we look for in a diabetic sock. Everything's aimed at reducing the chance of damage and infection in the foot, and helping to keep the diabetic foot nice and dry. That's another thing that keeps they need to be able to wick sweat away from the feet. So that's another feature of these socks. They've got a moisture wicking component to them, and they help to limit damage to the feet of the diabetic patient. I hope you found this helpful. If you have any questions, please comment below. Thanks. If you enjoyed this video, please like, comment and subscribe. It's really simple to do, and it really does help out our channel. If you need more information on the topics discussed, you can find some links in the description where they'll take you to our website where we can discuss this in a little more detail. If you have a specific question that you'd like answered, please comment in the comment section below, and we'll do our best to make a video to address your question. Thank you all for watching, and we'll see you next time.